It's time to start, guys. Welcome. On behalf of Momentum Learning, I would like to welcome you guys. First of all, today what we're gonna talk, I would like to share with you. So this is a kind of open house. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna do, what we're gonna learn, what I'm gonna teach you, what the expectations are, and we're gonna have a kind of 20-25 minutes, a kind of prerequisite check. So before starting pre-calculus, I wanna see how you are doing in Algebra 2 stuff, okay? So let me start with myself. This is Mr. Akpinar. Uh, I'm teacher of maths, and for a long time, it's been 15, 16 years, I'm teaching maths, especially in high school. I'm teaching pre-calculus and calculus, calculus AB and PC. Also, time to time, I'm teaching SAT courses in tutoring centers. So that's all about me. I could say that it's gonna be again pre-calculus a year long. I'm gonna share with you what we're gonna do year long, first and second semester. So I think that's all about me. If you have any special question for me, that's fine. Okay, so I would like to talk about the curriculum, what we're gonna have scope and sequence. So first of all, the name of the course, you can see the portal 2023 fall. It's online and school math. This is the type of registration. I guess you are familiar with the portal. Ellison, welcome. Ellison, you just come here. Thank you. Okay, so it is just you're gonna go your portal and you can get AP pre-calculus. So guys, there are a lot of questions. I know what is pre-calculus, what is AP pre-calculus. There are slightly differences, but not so much, I could say. I'm gonna mention on time to time what the difference is. So we can also talk for Saturday 1 to 3 p.m. We are gonna start now for the first semester, September 16 and ending December 9. So as a prerequisite, it is Algebra 2. Okay, we can talk a little bit description. So it's a 1 year, 2 semester class. We're gonna cover whatever you need for calculus. It's a kind of pre-calculus concept. So the purpose is if we're gonna prepare you to offer college level maths and science courses, it is really needed when you are applying in engineering or related to science in university studies. Okay, through regular practice, we're gonna look deep mastery of modeling functions, especially we're gonna talk about functions, the types of functions, and we're gonna look their attributes, which are their graphing, and we're gonna examine through multiple presentations. So we can talk a little bit topic by topic. It's gonna give you more idea. I guess you are a little bit familiar with these topics. What are those? We're gonna start with functions and their graphs, attributes. In the next, we're gonna look for polynomial and rational functions. I know that in Algebra 2, you did a lot of polynomial, but we're gonna look the polynomials differently. And rational functions, especially in rational functions, we're gonna look their kind of indeterminate forms, and we're gonna examine their function relations. In the next topic, we're gonna have exponential and logarithmic functions. I guess you are familiar with the exponential numbers, but we're gonna look in the terms of functions and their relation with the logarithms. As you may remember, exponentials and logarithmic functions are inverse of each other. We're gonna get a relation, and we're gonna look their attributes again. So the majority of pre-calculus, I could say it is about trigonometric functions. So far, maybe in your school you had started trigonometry. Most probably you did the trigonometry for right triangle trigonometry. But for trigonometric functions, we're gonna deep dives. We're gonna look for all angles and like more than 90 degrees, like 120, 150, 210 in different quadrants. So we're gonna examine their we're gonna have their unit circle forms, and then we're gonna look all the types of trigonometric functions, like not only sine and cosine, but also tangent, cotangent. And then we're gonna look also inverse trigonometric function like arc sine, arc cosine, and their graphing. So that's the majority of pre-calculus, I could say. That's what we are going to spend our most time. Okay, by the way, I see we have more kids here. I would like to welcome you guys again, those who just come. Fei, Chi, Annie, Kat, Wendy, you were here, I know, Alison. And there is a user here, computer. If you don't mind, can you change your name so I can call you with your name? It is written as computer. Okay, thank you. So after trigonometry and trigonometric functions, we're gonna have a look polar and parametric equations. In the next, vectors, conic sections, you know, ellipse and hyperbola, parabola, we're gonna look. And in the last two topics are systems of equations and matrices. Well, okay, there is a question here, Annie. What is the school grade for pre-calculus? Depending on what courses, I could say what school you are in. So guys, in math, there are 5 major, courses, which is first is algebra, and then geometry, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, AP calculus, AB, and AP calculus BC, total of 6. So some schools offer algebra in grade 8. Even you are in middle school, you can earn high school credits. Depending on your school and availability and course offers, you can start these courses at your school. And I have some kids I could suggest you if you are okay. If you don't mind, can you write me what grade you are at your school? Everybody, can you write down in the chat? Yeah, what grade you are in? 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can give you more specific. Kat, Doris, Annie, Ellison. What about others? Ray, welcome, Ray. What grade you are in at your school? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? What's that? Ray, you are in, okay. So I see that the majority is mostly middle school and high school 9th grade. So if you are taking at your school pre-calculus, it's good. Even you are in 7th, 8th grade, it is possible. Some schools can offer. But the important thing is here, again, keep in mind you need to get a high school credit. So depending on the state, depending on the school. So you need to talk to your counselor. So it can be changeable. But for Texas, I could say the only course that is counted as math, we could say algebra 1, we offer in grade 8, depending on the school again. And pre-calculus, geometry, you can accelerate this by taking online courses or dual credits. Like if you have a community college, you can get those courses, you can skip them. So pre-calculus, most it is taught in grade 10 and 11. If this is your specific question, yes. But you know that there are a lot of online courses, not only pre-calculus, but also calculus you can get or you can school offer, and you can get more credits from your colleges. So you can boost your GPA. Okay. So the last two topics we are talking are systems of equations and matrices. That's really fun, not so difficult though. In the last sequences, series and induction. Induction is a kind of part of number theory, guys, but we're gonna look in also pre-calculus. Okay, for curriculum, do you have any question? So by the way, when we are today is a kind of open house. I'm not gonna teach you a lot, don't worry. I'm not gonna bother you. It's a kind of information section. So do you have any question for topics for curriculum, first of all? You can speak out, unmute yourself, or write it in the chat.
So I'm first time to join the open house. So I'm a little bit curious to know like what is the purpose of open house? What's the typical agenda for open house for today? Is it already predefined, the specific agenda yet? Or yeah, I'm just
Okay,
wondering.
I guess you missed that part. So we mentioned a little bit what we're gonna do. Let me start from beginning, a little bit beginning. So first of all, those who have just come, let me introduce myself. This is Mr. Akpinar. I'm teacher of math for 15, 16 years, long time. So I'm teaching in a high school. I'm teaching pre-calculus and calculus. And this is me. And what we're gonna do today, open house means, guys, today is a kind of introduction and information section. So if you have any specific question, you can ask me and I'm gonna introduce me. It's a kind of syllabus section. So what we're gonna learn, what we're gonna do, what the expectations are, we're gonna talk. Okay. And is that okay? You got your answer?
Yeah. So are you going to talk about the broader curriculum, everything, or just focus on,
Okay.
the section
Okay.
that you're going to teach?
Yeah. So the information section is not gonna take so much time. We are planning for 45 minutes. So we're gonna talk a little bit more for our curriculum, and then we're gonna do a kind of 20 to 25 minutes prerequisite check. So as I said, pre-calculus is a kind of a higher level math. That's why I wanna see that how you are doing in algebra. Okay, we're gonna mention and we're gonna do some questions. So I wanna see how you are doing. Okay, so these are all the expectations for curriculum and for you. So as an expectation from you, I should mention a little bit more. So guys, this is since it's an online, I know that it's not easy as in person. So the engagement can be tough, I understand. So staying on computer and 2 hours math, it can be boring and it can be maybe not so much focused. So try to do your best, first of all. I'm not gonna bother you so much, but what I want to do, I mean, follow the class every single minute, and I'm gonna try to make cold calls. I will call your name. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Kat. Hey, Doris. So can you solve this question? Or what is your idea? What do you think? So we are gonna solve the questions, and you know that pre-calc is not the kind of algebra one or middle school courses. So the questions can take up to 10 minutes, up to 15 minutes, depending on the question. So the questions can be really long. So the concentration, vice versa, it's decreasing. So your attention is important and your input is important. So whenever I call your name, please try to unmute yourself, try to give answer as much as you can do. We're not, criticizing anything here. It's not a game, it's not a race. So show me what you can do. Show me how I can support you with your solution. So we can make some corrections. You can make my corrections. I mean, if you have any other idea, I'm gonna solve the question in a way. You have another fantastic way. That's great. So just unmute yourself and add your input. So we will be happy if you are a part of this section. Okay, here it is. So for pre-calculus curriculum, do you have any question? Once more, guys, this is a kind of AP pre-calculus, and it is not exactly pre-calculus. There are slightly differences. AP pre-calculus have one or two topics less than traditional pre-calculus, but the topic names are named differently than traditional pre-calculus. That's why this is happening. But if you are looking holistically, I mean, the whole picture, they are the same course. They are covering the same knowledge and skills. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so first of all, this is really important. Pronunciation names is important. I'm respecting you, but I don't want to pronounce your names wrong. So I will call your names once more. If I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry, please correct me. This is Mr. Akpinar. You can call me Mr. Akpinar. And Feyi. Is it okay, Feyi? Annie, Allison, Wendy, Kat, Doris, and Ray. Am I good? Okay, thank you. Yep. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we set up. If you have any questions, I'm here listening you. So this is a kind of hours of operation. So momentum learning, it's open Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday, and you can also email to momentum at info@momentumlearning.org. Okay, so if we are ready, guys, let us start with prerequisite questions. So I have gathered some questions which are really important. The first one is factoring. We're going to use a lot of time factoring in pre-calculus. The second is quadratics. So I have for you 6, 7 questions for today. Most of them are about factoring because as I have in pre-calculus, in calculus, we're going to use a lot of times factoring. So I want to see how you are doing. So I will give you the question, give you 3, 4, 5 minutes depending on the question. And then if you can solve and put your answer in the chat so I can give you feedback. And then I'm gonna make a cold call or a voluntary call so you can be part of solution. So the next question is coming for today. This is a kind of prerequisite skills for factorization or factoring we call. So it's really long polynomial with the third degree you can see. So what is your solution to this question? Go ahead, guys. You have 4 minutes for this question. It is a kind of warm-up question, guys. Okay, I start receiving. You can write it in the chat, guys. So I start receiving the answers. That's great. Okay, so far I have received 4 answers correctly. So you have still time, 1 minute more. Go ahead, guys. Okay, Ray, Vandy, Kat, I received yours. Thank you. Waiting for others. Okay, guys, the time is over. Thank you for your answers. I have received many answers. So I'm gonna make a call if you can help me. Okay, Ray, you are the first who solved the question correctly. So how did you do that? Can you tell us a bit? How did you start your question? Starting is
I
right?
factored the 3 out of the first, third, and fifth terms, and then I separated them, and then factored, and then got the x plus y squared, and then on the two sides. So then it was 3x plus y squared, and then combine them both.
Very good. Okay, so yeah, you're making a kind of grouping, all right? That's great. Okay, what about Randy? You did a similar, or how did you group? First and second, third and fourth, and so on? How did you start it?
I think it's similar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. So that's one of our basic question for factoring. We can make grouping for the first and second, right? Third and fourth, the fifth and sixth. Or you can make other grouping. So either way is fine. So in the first, we're gonna get factor of x to the power 2, which is because it's 3x minus y. In the second group, I have x and y, which are repeating, and number 2 is also common factor. So we can take out the common factor out of parentheses. I can get here 3x minus 1. Once I start, I can see the common factors in the next step. And then the fifth and the sixth term, we can continue as y squared, which is in common. You see y squared and y cubed, which is a smaller one, right? So we get 3x minus y. So we can easily see that again, 3x minus y occur in each. So in next step, of course, we're gonna take common factor here in factored form. So all the other remains here, x squared, 2xy, and y squared. We have a trinomial. So this trinomial we are so familiar, which is a binomial term, right? It is expansion of x and y. So we could say that that is the factored form of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. So grouping is good for this question. You can make the groups differently, 1 and third, second and fourth, the third and sixth. So it's on you. However you start, you should follow the steps accordingly. So there is no restrict rule again. You can do first and last. If you can do, just try out. I guess we are good in this. Do you have any question for this class? So before starting pre-calculus, we should put that, that is a must for us. Okay, very good. I'm taking my notes, by the way, so how much we did. Okay, the second question is a similar question. Let's go. Now, in this, it's again factoring, but this is a kind of what we're gonna do, an identity. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes for this question. It's not gonna take time, right? Put your answers in the chat. Okay, I have received a correct answer. Doris, thank you. You're great. Thank you, Doris. Who else? Okay, Ellison, you're doing good, but we have one more step. You figure out the difficult part, but you should continue one more step. Go ahead. You're on the way. Okay, Wendy, I have received your answer, and that is correct. Good job.
Okay, this is a square minus that's b square minus b square plus 12b minus 36. We can see the negative parentheses b square minus 12b plus 36. That is b minus 6 square. So, and then a square minus the another term. Yeah, this is the b minus 6 square.
You mean this
Okay,
one?
and yeah, and then it's the a plus b minus 6. Yeah, and then times a minus b plus 6.
That's great, Wendy. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you. Ellison, I have received your answer as well. Thank you. So you did a really good job, guys. So h squared minus, and the idea is here, like the previous question, you could start a factor grouping by this one, but it didn't work. So you should think out of box here. The last 3 terms we can factor out as negative because b, 12 and 36 we are familiar because 36 is 6 square and 12 is double 6. So it's again in the pattern of b minus 6 squared. And then by using the binomial expansion, a squared b squared formula, so we got a plus b minus 6, a minus b plus 6. You are great. Thank you. So it's a really basic question for algebra 2, guys, because we are using the identities like x minus y squared formula. And we are using also x squared minus b x squared minus y squared formula. So we are applying these two formula in this question. We just factor out. Be good. Ellison, thank you. Wendy. And who is that? Doris, thank you so much. Okay, these are just warm-up questions, guys, by the way. Okay, we have a really great question. It is about polynomials, remainder theorem, root theorem. Let's go. How would you factorize this equation given that x equals 7? It is a root of the equation. Okay, so we have a cubic function here, right? The third degree. And one of the solution is 7. So you are going to find the other two roots or the factored form. There are two ways for this question, guys. Either way is fine. You can go ahead. Let me give you 4 minutes for this question. It's not short question. Great, I have received your answer, but there should be modification. Okay, Fiji, I have received your answer. Thank you so much. That's great job. Okay, guys, the time is over. Let me give you extra 1 minute, guys, because I haven't received enough answers. 1 more minute and then we are starting. Go ahead. Megan, you are so close to answer. Megan, can you double check your answer? I couldn't get it. Okay, Ray, I have received yours. Thank you. You're good. Okay, the time is over. Let's go ahead, guys. The first responder is Faye. Can you talk a little bit, Faye? How did you start your question? How did you come up with your final answer? Faye, can you hear me? Okay, Megan, I guess you can help us. Megan, how did you start your question? How did you come up with your final answer? Megan, go ahead.
Okay, so basically I divided x cubed plus 0x squared minus 67x plus 12 plus 126. I divided that by x minus 7, and
Okay.
we would just do long division.
In a minute.
that.
So why did you divide by x minus 7? This is my question.
So because that x equals 7 is the root, we can we just know that our solution, it would be x minus 7. So yeah, I hope that
Exactly true. Yeah, we call it as factor theorem, right? By factor theorem, we can divide this. This is a first way, guys. We can make a long division. So what are you gonna do? Let's say this is p of x. You need to divide p of x by x minus 7. And then you can get, what we get? X squared plus 7x minus 18. Is this what you get, Megan?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so p of x, we can rewrite this as x minus 7 times x squared 7x minus 18. We can continue one more step our equation. How to do that? So since we have a trinomial here, we can get x plus 9, x minus 2. I guess this is the correct answer, right? Megan, is this what you get exactly?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I have received correct answers. Thank you, guys. You did a really good job. It wasn't so difficult, but you need to remember the factor theorem in order to solve this question. So this is the first way, by the way. What is the second way? The second way is difficult, but sometimes you need to use this and you need to learn this. In some questions, you can use the other method. So this is the first way. Is there anyone who got another method, another way? Ray, is this what you got? You had a different one for you?
I just put x, I just did like x minus 7 and then the quadratic with two unknowns with x squared plus a plus b x plus ab equals 0, and then like solve that one.
So you work on ABCs?
What?
Did you work on ABC? You mean after multiplying you try to figure out ABCs?
No, so I just assumed like x minus 7 multiplied by x plus a and then multiplied by x plus b equals 0, and then I
Okay.
solve for x, and then that also equals the equation you have.
Okay, so this is the equation you are using, the equations. Okay, that's really great. So basically, guys, all the methods that we are using, they have the same logic. It's all about number 7 or x minus 7. So since we have x is 7 is a root, so we can say that x minus 7 is a factor of polynomial. So we could say that this is exactly x minus 7 times, as you said. You did really good. So what I can work here, so if I try to work here, we have, let's suppose x cubed, and for each, I need to get x minus 7. In order to get x minus 7 after factoring, I could say that x cubed minus 7x to the power 2. You can easily see that if I factor out the x squared, I can get x minus 7. But we don't have negative 7x squared. We need to kill this. We need to delete this. So by adding the opposite of this, which is negative to positive, I can get this. So 7x squared. I want to get x minus 7 as a factor. So you can see that 7 times 7, which is 49, I could make it 49x. If I factor out 7x, I can get x minus 7. And here negative 49x, but we have negative 67x. So what is the remaining? 18. I can make 18 in this case. 18x minus 126. So let's carry on here. We get negative 7x squared, positive 7x squared, we cancel out. 49 and 18, which is 67. So we're good. We made just manipulations, but the equation is same. It is still equal to 0. So by the way, if we factor out, we get here x minus 7, 7x, x minus 7, that's the purpose. And then 18, we can get x minus 126 divided by 18, we can get this one. It's clear that x minus 7 is the common factor, right? So in the next, we can get x squared plus 7x minus 18 times x minus 7, which is equal to 0. That's the same answer that we got it. X plus 9, x minus 2, x minus 7, which is equal to 0. Okay, so far we have discussed in 3 ways. Again, in the first, Megan help us. In the second, we have tried to use a and b in this form, x minus a, x minus b. Be careful that we are just gonna choose x with the coefficient 1 because it is starting with x cubed only 1. In the third, we have used add and subtract method. It is manipulating the equation, add and subtract this term, and then we can manipulate the second part, and then just follow up the factoring methods. Do you have any questions, guys? Okay, as I said, this is just an information section. Just a welcome to you guys. We're gonna meet next week, but before that, if you need to review your algebra 2, please do it as soon as possible. So the next topic that we're gonna do, our first topic, we are starting functions and their graphing, their attributes. So we're gonna have a look at square root functions, cubic functions, and their attributes. We're gonna look for how we can graph the functions till positive infinite, negative infinite. If we have any asymptote, we're gonna look for them every single detail. Okay, for today, that's all. Do you have any questions to me, guys? It was really great to meet with you, Melinda, Ellison, Doris, Ray, Megan, and Kat. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next week at 1 p.m. till 3 p.m.